What's going on, guys? It's Red Bull Tanker, and welcome back to HBGs, the Korean War. We are now on to turn 7, and we got some stuff to cover, so let's get into it. Alright, as always, we are starting with North Korea. At the beginning of the turn, they collected 38 plus 3 that they saved. For purchases, they paid 9 IPC to recover the damages that were done to Seoul and Pyongyang at the end of turn 6. Excuse me. And then in Seoul itself, the North Koreans bought 4 infantry, 4 artillery, and 4 supplies. Right? Yes. Yes. Alright, combat this turn. So the North Koreans did push out from Pyongyang a little bit. They attacked here at Gangneung to the east, and they attacked Osan to the south of the city. Both territories had over here in Gangneung, the South Koreans had 1 infantry defending. The South Korean infantry was lost, and the North did not suffer a single casualty. And that cost the South Koreans 2 IPC. So the South Korean IPC is starting to dwindle. Next, at Osan, the South Koreans had an infantry and a mech defending against an attack of 2 infantry and 2 artillery. The South Korean force was lost at a cost of 1 infantry and 1 artillery to the North Koreans. For their non-combats, Airsoft Commando consolidated more of the Chinese army, or not the Chinese, the North Korean army here in the north, just south of the parallel. I think this is Chuncheon. This is where the majority of the North Korean army is now based, while still putting troops here. Like I said, then he deployed troops here in Seoul to keep that protected. And then he did some consolidating with some forces here in Pyongyang as well. All right. Next, we are on to China. However, it is turn 7, so China did not get to do anything this turn. So we will drop back to the South Koreans, who at the beginning of the turn collected 17 IPC. They bought 5 infantry and 2 supplies. They did not conduct any combat this turn, just non-combats, getting more of their forces, pushing more of their forces to Angdong, along with various amounts of supplies as well. We're already at turn 7, and like I mentioned in my as I mentioned in my mid-game review, the game's only 12 turns, and at the end of the 12 turns, whoever holds the most territory wins. And I mean, we got a lot coming in for the Allies, but I don't know if we're really going to be able to push back and retake all of this to at least get ourselves a tie for this game. It's going to be it's looking like this is going to be a very difficult fight to win, and I just don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off before the time limit is up. But we'll see, and we'll keep right on going. All right, now we're on to the U.S. The U.S. collected 50 IPC this turn. They purchased 5 supplies, and then for the supply tracker, they did 2 infantry, 2 armor, 2 transports, and a fighter. And the infantry is being flagged under the 40th Infantry Division. Combat this turn. Once again, the U.S. did attempt the U.S. did strategic bombing raids against Seoul. They used all their fighters that were in the theater at the time from here in Sanggu as well as Busan. There was no air battle, though. Airsoft Commando elected to not scramble for that fight. The AAA missed. Unfortunately for the American bombers, the heavy North Korean flak did disrupt their bombing run, and they scored only 2 damage on the Seoul factory. So didn't do much to the North Korean economy this turn. Non-combats. The Americans landed the 2nd Infantry Division with its artillery and armor, as well as this fighter. Landed them at Busan along with the 5 supplies. They pushed the 2 other regiments of the 25th Division, as well as the 1st Armored Division, into Wiguang, getting them pushed up to the front lines. They brought all their fighters from the bombing run back to Sangju, while moving the strategic bomber back to Busan. And once again, just continuing to move troops across the map. We have the rest of the 2nd Infantry Division coming in at turn 8. We'll have the 1st Marine Division coming in on turn 9. And then we'll have the 3rd Division by turn. So basically, at the end of at the end of turn 12 will be when, the 40th Infantry Division is not even going to reach the game at this point. That's the cutoff is going to be right here with the 7th Infantry Division. They'll be the last American forces to deploy on the map for this game. Which again, in my review, I said that I don't like the supply track is an interesting idea, but it just takes way too long for American and UN forces to reach Korea. So that is definitely something that looks like will need to be changed. All right, on to the UN. The UN collected 20 IPC this turn. They bought an infantry, a tank, and then 4 supplies. They did not conduct any combat this turn. They did shift their their mech infantry around to bring supplies here to Daejeon. They landed more reinforcements. I believe this turn they landed an infantry and artillery into Gwangju, as well as bringing in 2 fighters as well. And same thing too, moving along the supply track. With the UN focusing more on aircraft the last couple turns, there's not going to be much more ground reinforcements from the UN coming for the rest of the game. So that'll probably hurt the Allies a little bit, but the game is a learning curve. Oh, I also forgot to mention, back during some of the purchases, North Korea did save, I believe they still saved 3 IPC from last turn. No, they spent it all if I remember correctly. I believe they spent all of theirs last turn, and then the US actually did save 3 IPC from their turn. So, yes. Okay. Did I miss anything else? I don't believe so. Alright, so that is going to be it for turn 7. We are moving on to turn 8. And like I said, it's a fun game, but it definitely needs some updating, because I really don't see China coming into this game, which seems kind of like a waste. But don't see China coming into the game. I'll be surprised with myself as the Allies if I'm able to either retake enough of this territory or somehow get up into here maybe and take some territory away that could null out what South Korea has taken here. But that's going to be very that is going to be very, very difficult, I think, for me. But all right, guys, so that's it for turn 7, and we'll see you guys next time for turn 8. So until then, guys, as always, take care.